I was speaking at NetApp All Hands. So after every quarter, we do our earnings, and then we bring everybody together or they watch. And I had a quote that a lot of people seem to like, which was, I said, your first job at NetApp is sales. Your second job is whatever we hired you to do. And people broke into applause. And it wasn't just the sales guys. The sales guys are definitely in applause. If you don't sell something, nothing else happens. I was blessed when I got to NetApp. I came here in 1994, and the founders were Dave Hitz and James Loud, engineer guys, and they were supportive. And then when Dan Warmenhoven joined as CEO 6 months later, I always point out he joined later. Dan always points out he's 6 days younger than me, and I point out he joined 6 months after me. But anyway, when Dan came, he called me up. I was in Dallas. That's where I lived. And he says, Tom, we've never met. He says, you're going to be my Emmitt Smith. I'm going to give you the ball until you can't carry it anymore. It's the first time in my career I actually had a CEO say to me, I support you in sales. And we took off on a tremendous run. One of the classic stories was Dan went into his first board meeting, and he asked me for my 12-month forecast. Now, we've been in business a very short time. Dan's been in the job 60 days. And I give him my 12-month forecast. Aggressive. And he said to me, Tom, how confident are you in this forecast? I said, Dan, it's based on people I haven't hired yet, selling to people they haven't met yet. He goes, would you do anything different? No. Is there anything else I could do for you? No. Okay. Walked in that boardroom. We hit those numbers. Fact is, if you wait till you have all the data, you'll never do something big like we've done here. But the point of all that is, when Dan joined the company, we had a sales kickoff. Like 60 days later, we had just had one 3 months before. He wanted to make sure they know I'm with you. And we've never lost that here. So when you get to be a bigger company, and we are an engineering force, we've done some spectacular engineering, people can get into their own little world and forget that the only thing that really matters is the customer and selling to that customer, making them happy so they tell a friend, Sam Walton. That's what matters. Now, how we go do that, how we go create the trust, maintain that trust. When people take a tour, the people at the front have an impact on how they think about your company. If they go into manufacturing, we don't do much on-site manufacturing here. We did in the early days, but I'll never forget, a company came from Texas, and they said, even your manufacturing guys are pumped. So selling isn't always just going out trying to get an order, which is what people think. It's showing people who we are, what our heart's about, what's the culture of this company, and if they buy our products, what can they expect? How can they expect to be treated? When they have a problem, will we be there? And that's selling.